What is up? We're back for episode 34. It's been a week since UFC 284, and I feel like it's definitely died down a little bit. Then it was like going crazy viral. Robbery was probably trending. The word robbery was trending.
Which honestly, guys, how I'm gonna start with that straight off rip.
Yeah, we'll just start right into it.
Let me just say this: close fights are not robberies. All right.
Yep.
So let me say
close fights are worse.
Close fights are not robberies simply because it could have went either way. Every close fight, when you're saying close fight, you're basically saying it could have went either way. So when you say, "Oh, it was so close, but it was a robbery," that makes no sense.
It literally could have been.
It means
a draw.
Oh,
or
it was so close, but it didn't
go
go the way you thought. Me personally, I'm gonna say off rip. I thought Volk won, but I don't think it was a robbery. I'm not mad Volk didn't win. What did you think though?
This is what I thought.
Who'd you thought won?
So in the moment, I honestly thought Ann knew. In the moment. But, I mean, obviously, you're watching it. We were watching it with a group of people. Everyone was rooting for someone else, you know what I mean? There's Islam fans, Volkanovski fans. It's back and forth. Even the crowd noise in Perth had an influence on what people thought of that fight. You know what I mean? Like, they're cheering for shit, but it's like, did he really do anything in that moment? You know what I mean?
Yeah, okay, I agree.
So that has a factor into it. But yeah, immediately I thought Volk won. Looking back on it, like you said, it could have went either way. I think it's fair.
Yeah,
we'll give it to Islam.
Immediate reaction. Oh, okay, I had Volk.
Good shit
Close
to Volk
fight,
for
I don't
moving
really
up.
Care. Now this is where the whole problem came in. So that was already going crazy. Everyone was disputing over who would have won. I mean, obviously, a lot of people love the Khabib, the Dagestanian, the Islam Makhachev. They love culture. They're grouped together.
Program.
I mean, you've seen their training. They got like 15 dudes that are champion in like different promotions and in the UFC and throughout everywhere.
Undefeated.
They're all they're all undefeated. I mean, Hamzat's in there. They all have their respect, right? But with someone who's very popular and one of the most liked things in the UFC, problem is you're gonna have loads of haters too. Like everyone hates the Russians, everyone hates the Dagestanians.
Everyone hates this rolling around type of fight style. It's like, come on.
Everyone hates the wrestling.
Can you at least try to enjoy it?
With all that comes a lot of hate. So like the decisions were so crazy. Because I'm not gonna lie, Volk didn't really have his respect before this fight. Everyone knew he was a killer. He got my respect when he beat Max Holloway twice, and then when he beat him a third time, I was like, dude, this dude's legit. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like,
yeah, Volk is a beast.
Let's be honest. There's killers in featherweight, but it's not that stacked. Like the other dudes beat up.
Yeah, I mean, you see the interim fight. Josh Emmett and Yair Rodriguez can probably get smoked in one night by Volk.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, Volkanovski's, he might. It's like, is it even worth going down to featherweight again for Volk? Like, you already beat up on everyone.
He's got to go beat up Yair and then go drop down more.
Maybe.
But what were we talking about? Oh yeah, so like that the
haters,
the fighters or the Shizhin, everyone obviously was different. Picking Volk, blah, and that blew up like crazy. But then that fight was Saturday night, so everyone was wondering who's going to be the number one pound for pound after this. Everyone's
because they were promoting it pound for pound on the line.
Yeah, that's what the promotion was. Number one pound for pound on the line, lightweight title on the line, and then after they win, there were some tweets coming out like, new pound for pound, blah, blah, blah. But now the fights were Saturday, so the rankings don't come out till Tuesday.
Yeah.
And
UFC actually posted a picture. Your new number one pound for pound. You know what I mean?
I honestly thought Islam, I'm not going to lie, like, I think Islam in terms of what the UFC rankings is and like how I've seen it go up and down in the past, I think low-key Islam should have got it now, but I'm okay with it being Volk being number one. What are your thoughts? Initial thoughts? Like, what are your thoughts?
Initial thoughts? I'm fine with Volk being number one because, one, he moved up. He put his 22 win streak on the line and lost it, which is respect to him. I mean, he needed a challenge, you know what I mean? He could have just kept on his streak in featherweight forever. I'm also not too sure
exactly what like the rules are to be pound for pound, but DC made a comment where he's like, when you say number one pound for pound fighter, you say that what skills can translate to multiple weight divisions. That's what DC was saying. And he's like, I think Volkanovski showed that it can transfer through multiple weight divisions. Therefore, he actually agreed with Volk staying number one.
Yeah.
Now,
and even before the fight, like, I don't even know if I would agree that Islam's too.
With the whole, so you made a good point that someone else made a good point that when Izzy went up and fought Jan, then it didn't change. This was when Illy was beating everyone in middleweight, beat Rob twice, beat everyone twice. And then he went up and fought Jan and then lost. Nothing changed. But the thing with how the UFC rankings are, like, I feel like they already changed so much and, like, changed crazy. Like, for example, like, Leon's, like, number 3 or something, or, like, number 4. He's ahead of Kamaru Usman. There's a lot of fighters that should be higher.
I could actually get the top 5 up here.
Are.
It's Alex, Islam, Leon, Usman, and Izzy. Which I honestly don't think Islam... I don't think he even should have been at 2. So, I think it's just because he beat Charles.
So Leon beat
Usman.
So Leon beats Usman and goes ahead of Usman. But Pereira beats Izzy and doesn't go ahead of Izzy. It doesn't really make sense to me. Like,
yeah, and then... Like I said, I don't think Islam should have even been number 2 from the get. You know what I mean?
Right,
like he,
right.
I mean, yeah, he beat Charles Oliveira, which was Charles Oliveira was like up there, but I mean, Pereira beat Izzy and didn't move ahead of him, so it's like, how does
the rankings just move?
The ranking is
weird.
weird.
I feel like if this was like the other way around, maybe like.
And then ESPN did have him as a tie at number 1.
Yeah, like what?
Which is
you can't have a fighter's tie.
Weird,
I'm sorry, that doesn't even make sense.
And then they had like a bunch of ties.
Like if they were the same exact fighter and the fight was a draw, maybe, but they're completely different fight styles.
So yeah, I'm honestly fine with.
So yeah, like the whole pound for pound thing, I'm very intrigued.
I feel like this could definitely get shifted around, especially after the rematch.
I think it genuinely makes sense.
Because Izzy's got to fight, Usman's got to fight, Edwards. So these are going to get changed around.
Guys, and another thing I want to bring up is when have the rankings mattered more or like a fight decision? Like lately, you've just seen boys going crazy over like decisions and
yeah. I mean, we just saw an 11 ranked beat a number 4.
Yeah, so boys are just geeking over the game, but no one's. When have before this fight have we cared about the pound for pound list ever? Never, because it was John Jones number 1 and he still is. But you know,
John Jones never really left it.
This whole thing led to another spiel. So Dan Hooker and Izzy are boys with Volk, and they were in the crowd. I don't know if you guys saw, but the upset. How upset they were after the decision. Like, Izzy was damn near crying. Dan Hooker was a drunk fuck and was just like...
He was just like, what?
He was pissed. He later that night or day after, I'm not too sure, goes on Twitter. What did he say?
So, this is in quotes. Dumb cunt thinks he can fly to Australia, hire a nurse to give him an IV, and we won't find out. Cheating dog. Prove me wrong. Bet you can't. Islam's a cheat. He doesn't cheat. He doesn't win. So, first off...
So basically, if you guys don't know...
That's a serious accusation, like I said in the post.
Now, first off...
but it gets crazy from here, because...
the problem with the guys, you might be asking, what do you mean IV? What is Dan Hooker even talking about there? So, after... Think about someone like Islam and people who cut a lot of weight. Islam cuts a lot of weight. Like, we're talking like maybe 20... at least 20 pounds here. So, like... To get down to lightweight, he's got to cut mass amounts of weight. So you guys see on the scale,
he looks dead.
He looks dead every time he weighs in. And then
what a
rehydration IV, it would help you rehydrate quicker after, because like when he steps on the scale, he's dehydrated as fuck, has nothing in him. You know, like he can go out and chug water and eat food, but he can only do so much of that. And Dan Hooker's basically claiming that he used an IV to help him rehydrate faster and get away.
The thing with IVs, they are allowed, but he's claiming he took an illegal amount.
I don't know about you guys, but I've never heard an IV being allowed in rehydration clause. You think if you heard about IV, you'd see a lot more fighters using it, and we're talking about it, and like whatever, you'd think you'd hear a lot more about it. But now all of a sudden, it comes out that apparently you're allowed to use an IV. You're up to
up to 100 milliliters.
100 milliliters you're allowed, and now that randomly comes out and surfaces up. And then now, at this point, Islam teams start talking. So first you hear deny.
Yeah, Islam said you must be held accountable for the accusations. But his manager, low-key, fucked up.
Ali Abdulaz is an idiot. Did he self-incriminate his team here?
Yes, this is what he said. Any fighter under the UFC banner can take 2 to 3 liters of IV, as long as it's by a nurse or professional. He said, I'm going to expose everybody next week, Islam's pound for pound. But then... Ariel Hawani shouted to him for backing this up.
If you guys didn't hear that, what did we tell you the legal limit was? 150 milliliters.
ml.
In the tweet, it said 2 to 3 liters, which is like 40 times the amount.
So just think of like a Coca-Cola 2 liter and like another half of that, which is a lot of, honestly, like a lot of stuff they'll just be putting in your veins. You know what I mean? 2 to 3 liters of shit.
Well, a liter's like a liter's.
So yeah, Ali,
that's like the regular size bag that they use.
I don't even know how long that tweet was up for.
So obviously Ali's dumbass tweeted it because first of all that's not the legal limit, and then second of all it's like why would he even say that? Because first of all his other team members, because Islam doesn't know how to talk for himself. The only thing he said is people need to hold. He basically just denied.
Even some of his tweets
denied. Some of his other teammates denying, and then his main manager Ali goes out and tweets this, and it's like why? First of all, why are you tweeting this if he didn't take an IV? Right? Like what's the point of even getting involved in something that's like. It's like
you're trying to back up Islam for doing it. You know what I mean?
It's like, yeah, it's almost
That's
like
what the tweet seemed like.
Trying to get a comparison going. It's like it just doesn't make sense.
Like it could either be incriminating or he's explaining the rules, which he was
So imagine
wrong.
saying you're not doing something, and then to help prove your point, you say that you can do it, just not this amount. It's like, wait, but that doesn't make sense because you were denying it in the first place. So why are you bringing this up? So anyway, Ali deleted the tweet because first of all he was wrong, and second of all it was denied. Then all of a sudden he tweets out that. So now that was going up like crazy. Ariel, what did Ariel say?
He said he basically said the legal amount is 100 milliliters.
And he said, yes, he deleted it.
He deleted it because he was incriminating himself. Yeah, I mean, there's no proof. You know what I mean? There's no proof.
I'd say he
way.
probably cheated. But did he use an IV? I don't know. He's probably just on steroids.
Yeah, I mean, there's a photo of a mark. It could be a shadow. It could be a blood test for USADA.
He literally could just be on steroids, and no one knows. Like, why is this
either
IV
way,
such a big deal? I'm sorry.
If this IV if it is true, he's not the first one to do this. You know what I mean?
Well, because a lot of people
have probably been doing
so many.
IVs for
I hate
years.
that like when cheating samples come out, like something like this is like really crazy, because it can be deep investigated this and that, but like literally half the UFC roster is on steroids, and then like the other half's probably natty. But like there's so many cheaters in the UFC that like who even cares, bro? Fucking IV.
I know, it's like, especially when there's like fights that are just like robberies. Like, not saying that this one was, but like just considering like how they kind of just boosted Paddy the Baddy.
Right.
And I'm not saying Sean O'Malley didn't fairly win that, but it was a very close fight.
Basically,
and you know
close
Sean
fights
O'Malley
aren't
sells. So yeah, UFC 284 was great. Honestly, the undercard exceeded expectations a little bit. We had a draw, knockout, 2 submissions, and then the decision. So yeah, we got Yair, who's next. I don't know. What would you want to see first, Yair Volk or Volk Islam rematch? I think
it makes more sense to do the rematch immediately, just because
I feel like
if he drops back down and then like it's gonna lose some.
He could
hype.
definitely lose some hype
Because like it wouldn't make sense for Volk just to drop back down and fight beat up Yair and then get back up and get a lightweight title shot again. You don't get another lightweight title shot for going down to your division that you've already beat everybody in, and then beat the guy and then go back up and get another title shot after Islam fights somebody else. I think if Islam fights somebody else and Volk goes and fights Yair, and when he comes back up, he's got to fight for the non-title and then fight for the title again. But I think if they go for an immediate rematch, then Volk doesn't have to fight anyone else because it makes more sense. Because like if Islam were to go fight somebody else, like you said, and then it would kind of lose a little bit of
Islam
hype.
doesn't even really have anyone to fight.
What's going to happen is it's going to lose a little bit of hype, and then it kind of sucks. And yeah,
plus,
Islam doesn't really have anyone to fight right now. I mean, you could just have him fight someone, but if you want another good fight, I say you immediate rematch Volk versus Islam, and then winner of that gets Charles Oliveira versus Dariush. That's simple. It's just that simple.
That's the only way, because the lightweight's honestly
Poirier
pretty booked.
can come back and sneak something.
Gaethje's got to fight. Oliveira's got to fight.
None of these guys can get immediate title shots. They're all in situations when they all need a win. Like, I think the only one that makes sense is Charles Oliveira versus Dariush because Dariush is already on a crazy win streak and Charles Oliveira just lost the champ. But a lot of times,
Gaethje,
a lot of times, that could be a good fight.
That's
not, I don't think that puts you in line for the title, but that puts you in line for maybe winner of that gets Poirier, and Poirier sneaks his way in there.
True, because I think Poirier definitely wants to get back in there, which would be dope. So yeah, there's actually pretty exciting stuff to come out of UFC 284.
Yeah, man. So UFC 284 was crazy, guys. Already a crazy. The first quarter of the year is stacked.
Yeah. So we got 285 coming up next. There's really nothing too much to talk about yet. I mean, the only storyline so far is Daniel Cormier.
I feel like they split it up perfectly. Usually Dana White would fuck up and it would be like 2 mediocre cards and maybe a good card.
It's like
because usually what they'll do is do like and then all of a sudden you'll have like Izzy, John Jones, or you'll have Sean O'Malley, Shevchenko, John Jones, or you'll have Izzy, John Jones. Usually they'll have like all of a sudden like one time a year like a 3 title fight card or 2
usually around the summer,
or they'll have like a 2 fight title card with like another crazy fighter like Gaethje or Jorge. They'll do like one crazy card, but I think they split these up so perfectly because on the next card we have John Jones with Shevchenko, and then the next card after that is Izzy with Jorge, and I think they just put it instead of mixing one together and having like one
and
really,
in between
really,
that is
really,
Usman, Leon,
exactly,
and Gaethje.
Instead of just doing one really, really stacked card, they split it up so perfectly. Where it's like it's gonna make us watch every single one and be intrigued the whole time. Like,
and pay $80.
Okay, the first 2 fights of the main card might not be that crazy, but who cares? Because
there's some
last
sleepers.
I mean,
no, UFC 285 stacked though from bottom to top. I swear to God. Ian Gary's on the early prelims, bro. That's how stacked it is.
What?
I swear to God. At 285. Which is honestly kind of disrespectful to Ian Gary, but
well, Ian Gary is low key.
He was on the main card
doing the
before.
talk, but he's not doing the walk. You know, these decisions ain't gonna get him anywhere. He's gonna run his mouth like crazy. Let's go. I mean, I'm kidding. I'm sorry, but
honestly, we could talk about the Ultimate Fighter a little bit too, because there's actually some news. Conor McGregor's in Vegas.
Conor is
starting the filming.
So y'all saw the video on Fight Geeks of Conor
walking into the Apex shadow boxing Uriah Faber's jersey.
Conor is crazy.
That shit was funny as fuck.
So basically, I was telling you this earlier when we were.
Yeah, he actually posted on Instagram a caption explaining what he did. He was like, "I had to cut some people."
I know I'm about to talk about that, guys. So basically, Conor, we just said he got to the Apex. You know, Chandler, they're going to start filming. So I saw a Twitter tweet that didn't seem like didn't seem too promising from a crazy source or anything. A low-key MMA channel, kind of like ours herself. Not to say I didn't believe it. I just couldn't like for real. I'm reading it. It basically said that when Conor McGregor got to the Apex, the list of fighters that he had to cut and like look at, instead of like taking the guys that were already by the Apex, he literally cut everyone that was there.
Yeah.
And then hired his own people, or brought in his own guys. And I was like, "What, dude? That doesn't even make sense." So I'm looking at the comments, and I see it's Curtis Blades in there in the comments talking about it. I'm like, oh snap, this is obviously a reliable source. I mean, he's in the UFC.
Yeah, he might be at
one of the better heavyweights.
Apex.
He might be at the Apex.
Yeah.
And someone comments and he goes, "So were they cut like a long time ago, like, or was it like last minute type ish?" And then Curtis Blade responding goes, "Literally when they were waiting for him at the UFC Apex."
Yeah, and then Conor today, he said, "Time for the easiest part of any coach's job, the cuts. I wasn't able to cut everyone I wanted to. I have to cut a lot of you." He said, he said to everyone he cuts, "Congratulations, the rest of you made it."
He was name dropping.
He was on his. Yeah, he did. And do you want to know who isn't in the Ultimate Fighter anymore?
Who?
If you guys remember, on McGregor's undercard when Sean O'Malley beat the hell out of Chris Mutino.
He's not on there anymore?
No, Chris Mutino got cut. The human punching bag that Sean O'Malley. He had like a record amount of strikes against that dude.
That's sad that he got cut.
I know, it's kind of sad because like I honestly didn't know he got.
Yeah, why when I search a UFC fighter, it doesn't pop up on Twitter? Like, what's Curtis Blade's fucking Twitter?
Probably some. This is like Razor Blades or something. It's like Razor Blade.
Razor Blade?
Or how'd you spell Blades? Because it is like BLYDES.
BLYDES.
Yeah, what is it? Razor Blade something.
Let's go to his tweets.
Yeah, so we're gonna pull up and see what Curtis Blades said because he had some inside scoop.
Whatever, I can't find it, but you get the point, guys. I said it. It wasn't quote for quote, but I'm not an idiot. All right, I saw what I saw.
So yeah, that's coming in May. Maybe we'll do like some reactions to the episodes and stuff.
It's kind of crazy how savage Conor is, though. He said I couldn't cut everyone I want. He said see ya, and the name dropped 3 people.
He said you.
And then he goes, and then he said I couldn't cut everyone I wanted.
There was no Irishman in there, so maybe he brought in some Irishmen. We'll see on, I think May 30th is the debut of the show, so.
Olé,
So I think they actually record it first and then put the show.
Yeah, it's gonna be sick.
But yeah, guys, we actually, I think we're going to Conor McGregor's fight if he fights.
I'm sorry, it's just we have to.
We have to. You never know. It could be his last one.
Is that the guy you bet on, right?
Yep.
And he needed 30. Oh. He needed 35, right?
Yeah, and I mean either way, he got like 8 strikes. So yeah, guys, I'll actually talk about this on the story. There's a new segment called This Smackin' where I'm gonna post 2 UFC bets and.
What app do you use?
It's on an app called Prize Picks. I honestly might bleep that out because they ain't promoted us.
How do you sign up?
You sign up you download the app, enter. I honestly
How old do you have to be?
18.
That's it? You can gamble?
Which I was surprised. Which is honestly kind of sad because now there's like 18-year-olds addicted to gambling.
You don't got to do anything? You can just go out.
It's in New York State.
Today?
New York State is legal.
Shit.
But yeah, so I'm going to be posting UFC bets every card. But listen, guys. 1, I'm not trying to promote gambling to you guys. 2, I'm only throwing like $5 on this stuff. I'm not going crazy throwing thousands, throwing hundreds.
Right.
I'm just having something fun to keep me intrigued in the fights. You know what I mean? And maybe on like pay-per-views I'll do like a 5-leg parlay like something for the John Jones fight. Or maybe we'll even ask some of you guys. Tell us a pick. We'll bet it, and
we're just gonna try.
We'll see if we win.
We're just gonna.
And it's just a dope new segment we can do on the story. So
we're goated.
Keep in mind, I'm not promoting gambling, but if you're old enough, you're responsible with your money. You know what I mean? You got to be responsible with that shit, because that shit could actually get crazy. But yeah, and then another thing I did want to talk about was, it's honestly kind of involves Jake Paul, which, by the way, he is fighting on the 26th, which is
next week.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm going to be honest, Jake Paul, he lost a lot of hype, I feel. This fight is not hype, and even though it's his opponent, it's like it's actual real boxing.
This opponent gets winner gets ranked.
Winner gets in the WBC ranking.
Like, come on.
Oh, also some other boxing news. Ryan Garcia and Gervonta Davis signed a contract.
Really?
For a super
Let's
fight.
Go. Yo, so imagine this, though. Imagine you're Jake Paul, who fought 4 times, and you're Tommy Fury, who's 8-0. And you're already ranked. Like, think about the UFC, bro. They're already killers. They've already been through 3 different promotions to get to the UFC, and now you're ranked in the UFC. Yeah, so that's crazy though. They're his 5th fight, or 6th maybe, I don't know. But I think
7th.
If he wins, he gets ranked, which is crazy.
Yeah, what is like? Does that mean he's gonna be like? I don't even know.
He's an actual boxer and has to fight boxers to move up towards the title.
I feel like could Loki lose some hype for his career? You know what I mean? Like if he stops fighting these like celebrities and
exactly.
Which that was kind of Jake Paul's thing.
But if he wants to be a boxer,
yeah, this is the route. But the only reason why I talked about Jake Paul is because if you guys don't know, Penn State wrestling product, Bo Nichols making his UFC debut at UFC 285. He actually signed in partnership.
Is he on the main card again?
With Jake Paul. He is on the main card, which some people are kind of like up in arms about.
Damn, after pulling out, he shouldn't have.
Because there's some nice fights on the prelims, but
who's he fighting?
So he's fighting Jamie Pickett. It's middleweight.
So we get to see if he's any good.
A lot of people are honestly saying Jamie Pickett's like it's kind of like what they did for Raul Rosas, which I'm honestly low-key gonna be rooting for Jamie Pickett just to have the upset, because this dude's talking a lot of big. He went on Ariel Helwani's podcast, said I wouldn't say Alex Pereira's an easy fight, but it's a great stylistic matchup. And I'm like, first off, bro, that's the champ. So be careful with what you're saying.
Hasn't fought in the UFC talking
hasn't fought.
Crazy.
And yeah, I mean, we saw the last wrestling product, Ben Askren. That didn't go too well. I mean, it did make a viral knockout and kind of
they traded him for DC. They traded Demetrius Johnson for Ben Askren, the only ever trade in UFC.
Yeah, so we got another wrestler coming up to the UFC. So yeah, that's going to be exciting.
I don't know if you've ever seen this. Have you seen that funny clip of? I think you actually brought this up where Demetrius Johnson, all his title fight reaction wins. And then he's just like walking around like hand up like, oh, I won my 13th title defense. And then his reaction when he beat Elden Ring. And it's like, he was more hype beating a game than he was ever winning any UFC title ever. Or any fight ever. Any fight where he's literally gotten punched in the face, KO'd, that he was more hype beating a video game than any time in his fighting career. That's crazy.
Which is hilarious. That's why Demetrius Johnson's a legend. Because he is still fighting too.
What you guys know about Miller versus Hernandez? Like, why are they showing
Jim Miller lost, I guess.
Tough.
But the last thing that I did want to talk about was, actually, there's 2 more things. I did make up this what if post, Izzy versus Hill, and at first the comments were flooded in Izzy easily.
They were.
But then there's a lot of Jamal Hill, so it's honestly very split.
Well,
I want to know what.
Jamal Hill's low-key massive.
I know, I was actually searching up the stats. Izzy has an inch reach on Jamal, and they're the same height. So if Izzy can get that weight
Isn't that crazy?
I know.
Izzy's just skinny.
And I feel like that's Izzy's best matchup in light heavyweight.
Izzy's super tall and lengthy.
I would honestly love to see that matchup.
Like, he needs to run the middleweights. Dude, Pereira should have went for double champ.
He honestly could. I would love to see him versus Jamal Hill as well.
Dude, I'd be genuinely scared to fight Jamal Hill, bro. Or not Jamal Hill, Pereira.
I know, bro.
Like, I was thinking about this the other day.
It
was like a Charlotte thought. I was like, I literally thought this. Like, I was like, if I saw Izzy in public with the shit he'd be wearing and like how he acts, I would not one bit. Like, if I didn't know who Izzy was and I'm walking by Izzy RL, I'm not thinking anything of that guy. I'm like, if I were to walk by Pereira though, like literally, like, not to be a bitch.
He has a UFC shirt on.
I'd be scared of Pereira. Yeah, I'd be scared of Pereira if he
just walks up to you straight face
with his chain, with his like nice lineup he's got.
His fist clenched. That's just how he is.
That sounded kind of gay. No fucking weird shit. But yeah, he just walks. I'd be scared of Pereira in the street.
For sure.
Just because he's giant and he's like doesn't.
Yeah, he's got like an unbuttoned
it's
shirt.
It's just kind of cringe. He wears like these bright clothing.
There's no offense. Like no offense.
Paints his nails, but Pereira is just like a killer. Walks around. It's kind of like seeing.
Just a fighter.
It's kind of like if you were to walk by O'Malley and then walk by.
He doesn't give a shit about
imagine
the fame.
walking by O'Malley and then walking by Jan.
Facts.
Like,
even though Jan's short, like that motherfucker will like.
That would scare the shit.
He will press the fuck out. Dude, I actually saw a video of him sparring this huge ass dude, and he was just like piecing him up.
Another video I saw that was kind of hilarious was O'Malley. Fuck man, I forgot.
Was it O'Malley like in his UFC shorts, and it was like this dude beat Jan or something?
No, but that was a funny video.
Oh. I just saw that today on YouTube Shorts.
What was I gonna say?
I do want to just pull up something for the last subject later.
Yeah, I'm good because I forgot.
All right, so if you guys remember, if you have been watching since last year in May, we went to.
You guys watched our vlog?
Yeah, our one and only vlog on the channel at the moment. We went to this boxing event, which was at our local casino, and guess what's coming here? Legacy Fighting Alliance, which is MMA league, on March 24th. They're coming to Buffalo. I don't know if I should say the. Should I say our location? I mean, like,
we're good.
Yeah, they're coming to our hometown for MMA event, and we are most likely going there.
Most likely going. We're gonna vlog another vlog. We're gonna
we want to get vlog footage, maybe even interview some people, and maybe by the strike of chance, if one of you people watching this is going to the Legacy Fighting Alliance, 155, Dos Nascimento versus Hodges, the bantamweight interim championship.
It's gonna be sweet.
We will see you there. So this is just a message to Legacy Fighting Alliance.
Yeah, if you guys see us there, feel free to pull up, get a pic.
If you want two people to take some cool videos, document the experience of your event, let us know.
Yeah, we'll do free promotion as long as you guys can get us tickets.
Yeah, if you can get us 2 tickets, that would be appreciated. If not,
free
we'll still be there.
Post on the Instagram, and we're gonna make some great content out of it.
Either way, I'm hyped to go see an actual MMA fight.
Me either.
In real life.
Me too.
I mean, I've never seen
MMA
MMA in real life, so this is gonna be dope.
I want to see if LFA's got what it takes.
Yeah, this is a UFC. It's on the Fight Pass, so it's one of those like smaller leagues that the UFC promotes. Yeah.
Really, the UFC.
So that's actually pretty dope. Yeah, it's on the UFC Fight Pass.
That's sweet, actually. What?
So yeah, that is coming to our hometown, and we are trying to go to it.
Let's go.
So yeah, if you guys enjoyed this episode, drop a like. I want to say next week. I think it's still 3 weeks till UFC 285. So I don't know if predictions will be next week, but
I think it's 2 weeks, right?
So predictions might be next week.
It's March 4th. So yeah, 2 weeks maybe.
I'm gonna pull up the calendar real quick.
Pretty sure it's 2 weeks. 2 weeks, like right.
Oh shit, yo, next week predictions.
Oh, let's go. Next week we got Jake Paul, and then the week after that we got.
Oh, that's kind of sucks. It's on a
John
Sunday.
Jones, and then
it's
the
at
week
like 2
after that
p.m.
we got Izzy,
Sunday.
and then the week after that we got Pereira.
Yeah, so we got John Jones, Usman, Pereira, and then possibly like Oliveira Dariush.
And then Conor in there. Oh,
and then in December, we're going to the Conor McGregor fight or whatever that is.
If it's December, it's going to be late because we 20 or what? No, we're already 21.
21 Savage.
Nah, I'm playing.
But yeah, if you guys enjoyed this episode, drop
Ben
a
Askren's
like.
brother. Holy fuck.
No. Ovince Peru got knocked the hell out in 49 seconds.
Who's he fighting? An inbred?
But yeah, guys, if you enjoyed, drop a like, comment down below. What do you want to see? And
yeah, I like that shit.
Peace.